A very good evening to all our viewers joining on live here. We are coming to you live from the University of Colombo grounds. And it will be the first of the quarterfinals that will be played here today. University of Ruhuna taking on the University of Peradeniya. Because we'll be having 4 quarterfinals being played throughout today and tomorrow. And some very exciting matches coming up. And I'm Bilal Marika, joined in the combox here today with Kavin. A very good evening, Kavin.
A very good evening to you as well, Bilal. It's going to be an interesting game. The first quarterfinal of the inter-university tournament, rugby tournament in 2026. It's the University of Peradeniya taking on the University of Ruhuna. And this is the first quarterfinal. Two good teams. Peradeniya played just one game against the University of Sabra, and they did manage to win the game 19 points to 12. And the University of Ruhuna was hammered by Papare. As we take a look at the University of Ruhuna, Basaru illa peruma Sachinta Pallegedara Danuja Vidanage in the front row, Miniduratnayake Isuru Kurupuarachi in the second rows, Himash Nimshan, Nayantha Hettiarachi and Kanchana Fernando forms the third row, and the halves combination Sanitu and Sina Veerasinghe, the center combination Sandeep Dasana Sandanayaka and Timesha Silva, Pasindu Dias and Kavya Kalhara and Akindu Hansana forms the University of Ruhuna.
Of course, Naveen Lakshita, the captain, who has some school experience playing for Piliam Central for Ruhuna, will not be playing today. He'll be coming off the bench rather due to an ankle injury. And here's the team lineup for the University of Peradeniya. Their forwards will be consisting of Senath Nimthana, Yuganda Gamage, Anjula Senarath, Imanga Deundarachi, Ishayan Piris, Yasid Disanayaka, Heshan Sanda Liha, and Prabhash Vimukti, while they'll be depending on their dynamic line to make those scathing runs, consisting of Chamidu Dilshan, Niranga Ranavira, Dulanja Sadanith, Navod Dilshan, Hivindu Kirulapana, Mahasen Jayasundara, and Nimesha Vijay Singh. Goes the captain in that number 8 position, Prabhash Vimukti, having captain St. Anthony's College previously as well. They'll be hoping that he can really bring the best of his team to the fore here.
There are plenty of good players in both teams, and for the University of Ruhuna there's a couple of Mahanama players and Piliyandra Central players as we kick things off and knocked on early on by the University of Ruhuna, and it will be the first set piece of the game for the University of Peradeniya. And inside, just outside the 22 meters, inside the 40 meter, University of Peradeniya have a scrum early on. It will be Chamidu Gunaratna to feed in to this scrum, the first scrum of the game. Chamidu feeds in. Good scrum early on. Chamidu gives it to Niranga. Niranga gives it to now Dilshan. Here's Nimesh. Nimesh takes the ball into contact. Here's Mahasen. Mahasen wavered pass but collected by Niranga. Ball available. It went backwards is the call. Now needs to release. And it will be a scrum in favor of the University of Ruhuna early on. A couple of wavered passes from Mahasen and Niranga, knocking the ball on, and they've given back possession to Ruhuna inside their opposition half.
Of course, the man in the middle there, Bhishma Jayasekara, who will be refereeing this game today, alongside the men in the sidelines. Previous Josephian captain, who's very into the refereeing scene now, Kavin.
He played in 2023. I remember a game where I commentated as well in at Bogambara. He scored a brilliant try under the posts, and he's come in, and the ball is out of the number 8 position, breaking through a couple of tackles, finally brought down just outside the 22 meters. University of Peradeniya need to get their tackles on mark, because this front row from the University of Ruhuna is very hefty. Here's the first tackle coming in from Prabhash Vimukti, the captain. Here's Sanitu giving it to the number 1, and that's Imang Deundararachi who goes in. Here's the number 10. There's a forward in the midfield taking the ball into contact, and Sanitu gives it to the number 10, gives a wayward pass, space opening up wide, and there again, that's another brilliant tackle from Ishan. Sanitu gives it to the number 6, and here's the space opening up wide. They're giving the ball out, and good penalty won by Nawad Dilshan. He was the previous captain last year, Nawad Dilshan. He is playing as the center, the first center, as Niranga will put this ball into touch.
Ruhuna, having created a few phases there, just couldn't make any sort of momentum from those phases that built up, vastly due to the good defense shown by the University of Peradeniya as well.
The ball will be thrown in by Anjula. Throws in, collected by Heshan Sandalika, and here's Niranga. Knocks the ball on, was the captain, Prabhash Vimukti. It was a wayward pass from Niranga to Prabhash Vimukti. And this is the third scrum of the game, and the fourth set piece of the game. Plenty of stop-start affair. And the referee wanting to have a word.
These two teams will be quite glad that the weather is a bit kind to them today as well. Usually very hot and humid in Colombo. They've just got a bit of cloud cover now. The sun hiding behind the clouds.
The front row of Ruhuna seems to be really good. Basaru, Sachinta and Danuja, they've managed to push the first couple of scrums, and there again the hook not working. Here's the number 10 putting the ball to boot, and there's no one at the back, lets the ball bounce and into touch. That's a good kick, and there was no one from the University of Peradeniya back there, and inside the 22 meters they get their second line out of the game, and it will be Anjula Senarath who throws in. There's a strong wind coming in from the right of your screen to the left, as we see from the AR's flag. Here again at number 4, gives it, and not straight is the call from the AR. And it will be a scrum or a line out as they please. And they've gone for the scrum, mainly because their scrum is working really well. But they need to be mindful, because the last couple of scrums, the ball came out of the scrum pretty fast, and the number 8 couldn't really grab it. And they have a attacking scrum just inside the 22 meters. Sanitu to feed in, and through the blind side, misses the first tackle. And in the red zone is the University of Ruhuna.
Brilliant run there by Kanchana Fernando.
Obstruction is the call from referee Bhishma Jayasekara. And it will be a scrum in favor of the University of Peradeniya. Early on, starting the game, University of Peradeniya wasn't really good against the University of Sabragamuwa, and they did not start the game well, but they did manage to come back into the game and finish it off. But it'll be an important scrum, and it'll be Chamindu Gunaratna to feed into this scrum of Pera.
Pera will be looking for a clearance here. They've been playing most of the rugby in their half so far, although they have been able to come away with the momentum. And brilliantly done this time by the boys from Ruhuna, just pushing that scrum. This is exactly why they went for those scrum calls, and this time they'll have turned over. Here's the number 20, Kanchana Fernando, going for that run again, meters away. They'll have to make sure they don't let any mistakes creep into their game, making their forwards work here, painstakingly gaining some meters. Here's Ruhuna smelling blood. Here's the big man, Danuja Vithanage, the tight head prop for Ruhuna with the ball. Good fringe defense from the University of Peradeniya as well, this time pushing them back. Going towards their line, making a run, not a lot of support. Pera over the ball, and once again, that's some brilliant defense covering by the University of Peradeniya. Ruhuna almost getting there, but Pera holding on quite strongly.
And it was the captain of the University of Peradeniya, Prabhash Mukti, with that beautiful turnover. He was the jackler, had all rights to the ball, and Niranga, the fly half of Peradeniya, have managed to put the ball just outside the 22 meters, and it'll be a line out. The line outs are going to be hectic because there's a strong wing coming in from the right of your screen to the left. It'll be Anjula Senarath who will be throwing into this four-man line out and closing the gap there. Ball available. Chamindu gives it to Niranga. Here's Prabhashi Mukti. Gives it to Imanga Deundararachi, and the ball has been turned over by Ruhuna yet again on deck, and there's a player down as well. Ruhuna have ball available, advantage. It's Imanga Deundararachi who's down.
Opening 10 minutes of the game so far, and the University of Ruhuna will be quite pleased with the fact that they've been playing most of the rugby in this Pera half. Pera, although they have had a bit of possession of the ball, they just haven't been able to take it forward. A lot of broken play, a few mistakes creeping in as well, but that's absolutely normal as these teams, they are just coming off of not a very long pre-season rather.
The ball was with the University of Ruhuna. Wonder if it was an high tackle. Imanga Deundararaji has been taken out, and it will be another scrum in favor of the University of Ruhuna. The front row seems to be working really well. They have a good hefty front row. Basaru, Sachinta and Danuja in the first passage of play, just on the 22-meter mark. The University of Ruhuna gets another scrum. That has been the story so far. There has been around 7-8 set pieces so far in the 10 minutes of play, and it'll be Sanitu Alhendra to feed in, and there again the ball is out. The referee Bhishma Jayasekara wants to have a word with the front rows. Maybe it was an early shove.
Ruhuna, they have to make sure that they convert these visits to this Pera half, these visits to the red zone as well, into tries. They can't come away with this without any points, because that will be a psychological blow on them as well. And here's the number 8 breaking forward. Number 8 into the line. The defense of Pera holds on. Goes to the other side now. Here's the big man, Sachin Tapallegedara, making that tackle. And now the forwards will be put to work once again.
Knocked on. Ball available with the University of Peradeniya. Prabha Shivmukti takes the ball into contact. Chamidu tries for that run through the blind side, but did not work. But the first knock on from the University of Ruhuna gives Peradeniya with an opportunity for another scrum, and that has been the story so far.
A few hurried passes here and there. Players have to make sure that they compose themselves and they rise to the occasion as well, because once you allow these mistakes into your game, it just kills the momentum for yourself. Pera also will be quite glad. A few close shaves there, but the defense has held on. The referee also making sure that he allows play to continue. And this time, the scrum holding on quite well. Here's the line now.
Here's Niranga. Niranga in space, gives it to Nimesh. Nimesh in space. The number 15. Can he go all the way? Yes, he can. Oh, he stops just in front. But the try has been scored, has it? Yes, it has. Brilliant work from the fullback. Nimesh Vijay Singh doing all the work. It was a good pass from Niranga Ranavira to his fullback Nimesh Vijay Singh, and he did a lot of hard work. He ran on the outside, and then on the brink of the whitewash, he just managed to step back in and crash over. Luckily, if he had gone on the outside, it would have been an easy try. And this is the number 11, Dulanja Waningatunga, with the conversion. The first points of the game goes to the University of Peradeniya, and Dulanja right through the middle. Good conversion from Waningatunga, and just like that, University of Peradeniya, after one good play, have managed to get 7 points up, and University of Ruhuna will need to score next. Here's a replay.
He made it look so easy there. Just running around those defenders. Look at that footwork. Swerving in, swerving outwards, and then still going on despite being hoarded by a bunch of defenders there. So Pera will draw first blood here, and this is exactly why Ruhuna had to capitalize on the chances that they already had. Ruhuna now under the pump. They've only had one game coming into this season so far. They don't really have a lot of game time. And immediately from the kickoff, it's a penalty for Pera once again.
It was a good collection from the captain, Prabha Shivmukti. He almost knocked it on, but managed to keep the ball in contact. And here's Niranga. He puts the ball just into the opposition half on the 50-meter mark. And the University of Peradeniya have a line out. The line-outs haven't worked really well because of the wind. There's a strong wind coming in from the right of your screen to the left, as we see from the AR's flag. And the line-outs haven't been working so far. Anjula Senarat with the throw-in. It's a 4-man line-out, and the contest was good. Here's Prabha Shivmukti. He's a good ball carrier. Gives the ball out to Ishan. Ishan takes the ball into contact. Ball available. The University of Peradeniya still have possession. Now they are trying to play their own game. Here's Prabhash to Niranga. Here's Hivindu. Hivindu gives it to Mahasen. Should have gone on his own, but Hivindu gave it to Mahasen. And here's Prabhashri Mukti, the captain, taking the ball into contact. Here's Anjulu Senarath. Good tackle coming in from the University of Ruhuna. Chamindu gives it to Nimesh, the try scorer. Here's Mahasen. Mahasen cutting back in. Ball available. Needs to roll away. Chamindu gives it to Seneth. Seneth takes the ball into contact, but the ball has been knocked on.
Well, Pera making a lot of headway here. Coming into that red zone, however, just knocking that ball out. Everything's happening now in this opening quarter of the game.
And the Bloodbin player, Imango Deundararachi, has been called back. And Sithija Jayasena is being taken out. And Ruhuna have a defensive scrum in their favor. They will probably put this out into touch inside the 22 meters, hence they can kick this out on the full. And the University of Peradeniya, the flankers, should be charging at the fly half. Here's Sanito to the back. Ball available, ball out, and here's what is he doing? Takes the ball into contact just outside the 22 meters. Gets some room for the kicker. Here's Sanito yet again to his prop forward. And here's Nimesha Vijay straightening the line. Here's Niranga. Gives it to Dulanjana Vanikatunga. He gives it to Hivindu. Hivindu fends off a couple of players and he's over. Hivindu Kirulapana scores the second, and just like that, 12 points with the conversion to come. A bit of ajibaji, but the second try has been scored. Here you go, Dulanjana straightened the line, gave it to Hirindu. Here's the fend coming on, the number 8 to the ground, and Kirunapana is over for his second try.
Just doing the basics right there, drawing in those defenders and passing it on to the wing. And some scathing pace from the wing there. Big fend off. And he gets the second score for the University of Peradeniya. And Pera now on the charge. Should have been a better clearance, Kavint. Should have put that ball out.
The ball out from the scrum to the number 8 isn't working really well for the University of Ruhuna, because the ball is coming out way too fast, and the number 8 at the back of the scrum can't really catch the ball. And here's Dulanja Vanikatunga attempts the conversion. Here he is from the left, has the distance, but not the direction. 12 points up, and that's the first hydration break of the game.
Will be a tough conversation there in the Ruhuna camp. The Ruhuna coach Suranga Kumarasinghe, also the coach of Rahul College Matara, will be asking his team to be a bit more sharp on defense. There are so many instances where there have been a couple of missed tackles as well, and not a lot of cover defense either from Ruhuna. And Peradeniya, when you just give them that space, they'll just capitalize on it. So brilliantly done by them as well so far. It will be Ruhuna with the restart once again.
The University of Peradeniya is being coached by two Sri Lanka players, two ex-Sri Lanka players, Malit Hettiarachchi and Anush Kolonne. And this time the kickoff taken by Prabhashri Mukti and bumps off one player straight down. Chamindu Gunaratna, advantage being played in favor of Peradeniya for not rolling away. Here's Anjula Senarath. He takes the ball into contact. Here's Chamindu. Chamindu gives it to Niranga. Niranga straightens the line, gives it to Naod Dilshan. There was advantage being played in favor of the University of Peradeniya. Hence, they will have that penalty. It was for not rolling away. And Niranga Ranavir has the opportunity to get his team into the next into the opposition half. And he does exactly that. Gains around 15 to 20 meters. And here's the knock on by Naod Dilshan. Should have given it to the center. Used Naod as a decoy. But gave the ball straight to him. But knocked on. Luckily for Peradeniya, they had the advantage of not rolling away. And now they have the opportunity to really get this line out. The line outs haven't been working for either teams.
Slight delay in proceedings as that ball was kicked out of the ground there. And play will resume. Bhishma Jayasekara says time on. And here's Pera now. Pera running it forward. This time the pass sticks and he makes his way into the red zone.
Niranga gives a cutout pass to Yasit. He takes the ball into contact. Ball available. Chamindu just outside the 22 meters to Seneth. Seneth takes the ball into contact. Offside advantage in favor of Peradeniya. Here's Chamindu to his fly half Niranga. Here's now Dilshan. Gives to Nimesh. Nimesh gives it to Mahasen. Mahasen takes the ball just outside the 22 meters. Ball available with Peradeniya. Advantage yet again. Here's now Dilshan. He is a good ball carrier. He is very strong in that aspect of the game. He played at number 8 last season. He captained Peradeniya last time around. Here's Niranga. Gives it to Prabhashri Mukti. Vimukti takes the ball into contact. Ball available. Now inside the 22 meters. Niranga to Ishan. Ishan takes the ball into contact. Still in space. Need to take the ball into contact. Not really sure what Chamindu Gunaratna was doing there. But now it falls for an pick and drop. Here's Niranga yet again. Now Dilshan gives it to Mahasen. Mahasen will score the third. Brilliant work. Simple hands. And Mahasen Jayasundara scores the third try for the University of Peradeniya.
Pera on a rampage here.
And the try has been called back for and forward pass. But the referee was playing advantage in favor of the University of Peradeniya. Hence, it will be a penalty just outside, just inside the 22 meters. Chamindu hands the ball over to Niranga Ranavira, who will put this into touch. And gains at least 10 meters. And the University of Peradeniya have an opportunity to score their third. Thought they scored the third, but it was a forward pass. Here's the line out. Numbers being called. Referee stops the time.
Kavint, you've been familiar with these Candy Boys. Do you think they'll be setting that maul up, or will they be going for the line once again?
Probably the maul. If they can do it. Here's Anjula Senarath. There's a player down on off your screen. That is why the play has been stopped.
Looks like it's the ankle of player number 22, Mahasen Jayasundara, the try scorer as well. So might be a bit of a blow for Pera if he is not able to come back into play. Just sporting a bit of a limp there. However, play will proceed here. Good bit of intervention from Ruhuna, but not done well enough. And here's Pera once again. And they just walked into the try line there. No one to stop him. A bit of a celebration there as well. Ruhuna coming undone here, Kavinth.
Quick tap taken by the captain, Prabhash Vimukti. And he barges over. Good work, good identification of the penalty that was available. And the University of Ruhuna wasn't onside. And Prabhash Vimukti barges over for the third try of University of Peradeniya. 25 minutes on our clock. And the first 15 minutes, Pera wasn't looking really good. Ruhuna was doing everything correct, but just as the scores opened, and now they are doing it really well as Niranga Ranavira puts the conversion through as well. 19 points to nil. Here's a look at the replay. Prabhash Mukti knew exactly what he was doing. He had now Dilshan on his shoulder, but did not need him. And the captain, Prabhash Mukti, goes over for the third try of University of Peradeniya.
Ruhuna will have to make sure there's a recovery here. They'll have to strike back. Just like you did mention, Kavin, those 15 minutes, they did everything right, playing in the Pera half as well, but they really lacked that final flourish. And once they allowed Pera that little bit of space, they just grabbed a hold of that momentum, and they haven't let go since.
Collected by Sithija Jayasena. Bombs off a couple of players straight to the middle. Think there's a Ruhuna player down. Chamindu gives it to Niranga. It was taken back, hence can't kick it out on the full. Collected by Dulanja Vanigutunga. And here's Hivindu. He takes the ball right down the middle. Needs to release. Penalty advantage in favor of the University of Peradeniya. It's a penalty right down the middle. I'm really sure they are not going for the 3 points. They'll definitely go for the touch. And it's Niranga Ranavira who will put this. And with the wind, he gets around 20 to 25 meters, just inside the 22 meters. And they have a line out. And it will be interesting to see what the University of Peradeniya does from this. Last time we called for a maul, but did not work out. And it did not... the University of Peradeniya looking to use their backs to good effect.
They're on song now, Pera. Smelling blood. They're not taking their foot off the pedal, which is exactly what the coaches would want as well. We saw how exactly the coach, same one for Sumangala, he transformed that team, and they did brilliantly in the school season this time. And it looks like he has worked his magic on this Pera team as well.
Yeah, two ex-Sri Lanka players. And here's the maul being set. We called it one too early. But now use it once is the call. Going again. And still has the foot on the accelerator as Prabhash Mukti breaks. Ball available. And it will be pick and drops from here, just inches away from the whitewash. Here's the University of Peradeniya taking the ball into contact. Ball available inches away from the try line. Will be interesting to see who picks it up. And by the looks of it, it looks like Senath. Here's Chamindu Gunaratna, gives it out to Niranga. He gives it to now Dilshan. Here's Nimesh Vijay Singh. He takes the ball into contact. Ball available for the University of Peradeniya. Need to roll away. Chamindu Gunaratna. That's the penalty. What will Prabhash do? It's now Dilshan rather. Will he take it quickly? Yes, it is. And this will be the fourth try coming in for the University of Peradeniya. Just like that. It was brilliant work from now Dilshan. He's playing as the inside center. But he played at number 8 last season. He's a very good ball carrier. He's being he has been transferred to the center position, and he's doing really good work with defense and now on attack as well.
Brilliant awareness also, just seeing that gap, going for it with that quick tap. And it's looking like a walk in the park right now for the University of Peradeniya.
This is Dulanj Vanigatunga with the conversion. Did not have the distance. It was way flat. And one to forget for Dulanj. And it's 24 points up with around a minute to play in this first half. As we take a look at the try from now Dilshan. He knew exactly what he was doing. Fending a couple of players and over the whitewash. Brilliant work from now Dilshan. As we restart, and it will be the University of Ruhuna who will be restarting for the fourth time from the right to left.
What the University of Ruhuna have to do now is they just have to recover possession of that ball and once again create few phases and be confident carrying that ball as well. They haven't had a lot of possession, save those first 15 minutes of the game. Will be interesting to see if they'll be going for that deep kick or if they'll be looking to recover with a flighted restart of the ball.
It's the number 10 who will be restarting things. Sihina Veerasinghe, collected by Sichida Jayasena, knocks the ball backwards. Ball available. Prabhash Vimukti does the hard work of keeping it in play as Niranga Ranavira puts another brilliant up and under, and Dulanj does really well. It was a good collection from the fullback of Ruhuna, but brilliant work from Dulanj to drag him out of play, and that is half time. 24 points up, and the University of Peradeniya leading pretty comfortably at half time.
Well, one-sided half, if anything. University of Ruhuna will have a lot of questions to answer as they go into Lemons, and here's the halftime confirmation. Peradeniya 24 points on the board. Ruhuna still to get to that white line. They did come extremely close in those first opening minutes of the game, but it just looked like they allowed a few mistakes creep in. And with that first try from Peradeniya, they just allowed Pera to get back into the game and dictate proceedings so far. And as we go into halftime here, we'll be going for a short commercial break, but do stay tuned with us as we'll be bringing to you live action from the second half in this game. University of Peradeniya taking on University of Morato Ruhuna.
Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination.
තරංග හයක් ආඩම්බර ජාතීන් දෙකක් එක් උණුසුම් තරංගාවලිය පාකිස්තාන කාන්තා කණ්ඩායමේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා සංචාරය 2026 එක් දින තරංග 3ක් 2020 ජාත්‍යන්තර තරංග 3ක් ජූලි 23 වෙනිදා සිට අගෝස්තු 4 වෙනිදා දක්වා The Papare 2 The Papare 2 HD Dialog Play සහ thepapare.com ඔස්සේ සජීවීව නරඹන්න.
Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports.
තරංග හයක් ආඩම්බර ජාතීන් දෙකක් එක් උණුසුම් ගාවලිය පාකිස්තාන කාන්තා කණ්ඩායමේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා සංචාරය 2026 එක් දින තරංග 3ක් 2020 ජාත්‍යන්තර තරංග 3ක් ජූලි 23 වෙනිදා සිට අගෝස්තු 4 වෙනිදා දක්වා The Papare 2 The Papare 2 HD Dialog Play සහ thepapare.com ඔස්සේ සජීවීව නරඹන්න.
Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement. 6 matches, endless passion, and 2 proud nations. Sri Lanka women take on Pakistan women in a thrilling white ball showdown. 3 ODIs, 3 T20 internationals. Pakistan Women's Tour of Sri Lanka 2026. Witness the battle from 23rd July to 4th August. Live on the Papare 2, the Papare 2 HD. Dialogue Play. Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Experience every heartbeat and every goal like never before. From cricket to football, rugby to athletics, we capture the spirit of every sport that ignites our passion. Relive legendary moments, exclusive interviews and expert commentary, all in one place. Join us for live coverage of thrilling matches and events, bringing you closer to the action. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement. Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination.
තරංග හයක් ආඩම්බර ජාතීන් දෙකක් එක් උණුසුම් තරංගාවලිය පාකිස්තාන කාන්තා කණ්ඩායමේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා සංචාරය 2026 එක් දින තරංග 3ක් 2020 ජාත්‍යන්තර තරංග 3ක් ජූලි 23 වෙනිදා සිට අගෝස්තු 4 වෙනිදා දක්වා The Papare 2 The Papare 2 HD Dialog Play සහ thepapare.com ඔස්සේ සජීවීව නරඹන්න.
Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports.
තරංග හයක් ආඩම්බර ජාතීන් දෙකක් එක් උණුසුම් තරංගාවලිය පාකිස්තාන කාන්තා කණ්ඩායමේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා සංචාරය 2026 එක් දින තරංග 3ක් විස ජාත්‍යන්තර තරඟ 3ක් ජුලි 23 වෙනිදා සිට අගෝස්තු 4 වෙනිදා දක්වා The Papare 2, The Papare 2 HD, Dialog Play සහ thepapare.com ඔස්සේ සජීවීව නරඹන්න.
Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement. 6 matches, endless passion, and 2 proud nations. Sri Lanka women take on Pakistan women in a thrilling white ball showdown. 3 ODIs, 3 T20 internationals. Pakistan Women's Tour of Sri Lanka 2026. Witness the battle from 23rd July to 4th August. Live on the Papare 2, the Papare 2 HD. Dialog Play. Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination. Experience every heartbeat and every goal like never before. From cricket to football, rugby to athletics, we capture the spirit of every sport that ignites our passion. Relive legendary moments, exclusive interviews and expert commentary, all in one place. Join us for live coverage of thrilling matches and events, bringing you closer to the action. Together, we unite a nation through the love of sports. Tune in to the Papare, your home for all things sports. Live the action, feel the excitement.
තරඟ 6ක් ආඩම්බර ජාතීන් 2ක් එක් උණුසුම් තරඟාවලිය පාකිස්තාන කාන්තා කණ්ඩායමේ ශ්‍රී ලංකා සංචාරය 2026 එක් දින තරඟ 3ක් 20 ජාත්‍යන්තර තරඟ 3ක් ජුලි 23 වෙනිදා සිට අගෝස්තු 4 වෙනිදා දක්වා The Papare 2, The Papare 2 HD, Dialog Play සහ thepapare.com ඔස්සේ සජීවීව නරඹන්න.
Elevate your game with the Papare, Sri Lanka's ultimate sports destination.
තරඟ 6ක් ආඩම්බර ජාතීන් 2ක් එක්
And we are coming back to you live once again from the Colombo University grounds. It's the University of Peradeniya taking on the University of Ruhuna. It's been the first half has been one-sided affair, save for the first 15 minutes where Ruhuna did make an impact after this first try by Peradeniya, swerving in, swerving out, taking a defender, a couple with him. It was all Pera accelerating forward. Beautiful play as well. The Ruhuna defense just not up to the task today in this first half. Brilliant try there, that one from Mahasen, who scored the second as well. That's the captain going over the line for the third one. Highlights all about the University of Peradeniya, and that's something that Ruhuna will be looking to change as they move into the second half. Short kick-off, not the most ideal one for Pera. Collected quite well by the University of Ruhuna. Not the best there. Being under the pump, they will have to do better than that. They'll have to make sure those passes go to hand. But here's Peradeniya now. Peradeniya rushing forward, and once again it will be the number 14, Mahasen Vijay Singh, who scores the try.
It's Himindu Kirlapana rather doing brilliantly. The number 14. He, even though his number is the number 14, he plays as the outside centre and did brilliantly. Off the turnover, good rush defense coming in from the University of Peradeniya, and the ball was turned over, and the ball was quickly shifted to fly half to the first centre and gave it out to the second centre, who ran a good line and under the posts. This will be an easy conversion for Niranga Ranavira. He has played for St. Anthony's from 2016 to 2019, and the conversion is through as well, and the first points of the second half goes to the University of Peradeniya, who now are playing to a good rhythm. Here's the ball from now Dilshan through the middle, and Himindu Kirlapana doing brilliantly under the posts and puts in the dive as well.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a long 30 minutes for the University of Ruhuna if they don't do something differently here. Once again, had the ball and their hands, just a few loose passes, killing the momentum for themselves. Peradeniya, on the other hand, is charging forward.
Collected by Prabhash Vimukti. Was the player was in front, and a scrum awarded to the University of Peradeniya. I think it was because there was a player in front of the kicker, and that is why the centre field scrum has been awarded to the University of Peradeniya. And coach Malit Hettiarachi and coach Anush Konalne will be really happy with how proceedings have gone so far. Penalty in favor of Peradeniya. Here's Prabhash Vimukti, gives the ball out to Chamindu. Here's the try scorer Kirlapana running lateral, and looks like Kirlapana has options, but he decides to keep the ball in play. Good offload by Nimesh Vijay Singh to Anjula Senarath, and here's space opening up wide. Here's Niranga, and he looks to go by himself, just short. Ball available, and now Dilshan from the back of that scrum, of that ruck. Brilliant work from now Dilshan. That's the second try of the second half, and now Dilshan scores his second, and just like that, and Peradeniya are right back on the points tally yet again.
Here we are into the 4th minute of the second half, and Peradeniya have scored twice already. A story of dominance in this second half and throughout the first as well by the University of Peradeniya. And the University of Ruhuna, come to that in a minute. Here's Peradeniya lining themselves up for the conversion.
Niranga Ranavira has the distance but not the direction. Misses the second conversion of the second half. And here's how they scored it. Niranga could have given the ball out wide, should have given the ball out wide, but decided to go by himself. But it was good identification of space and game management by now Dilshan. He was the first to arrive to that ruck, and from the back of that ruck there was no stopping now Dilshan, who has played at number 8 as well. In those close quarters, those big men is going to make a big difference, as the University of Ruhuna will be restarting things from the left to right.
Ruhuna, not in that first half, they were so good whenever it came to those scrums, but then just this momentous scoreboard pressure put on by Peradeniya, putting pressure on them, and they are just making a few mistakes and allowing their strengths also to become a weakness now in this second half.
Here's Peradeniya, here's Nimesh, gives it to Hivindu Kirilapana, space opening up wide. Here's Dulanta Kendagol, takes the ball inside the 22 meters, needs to release Chamindu, but Dulanta Kendagol has knocked the ball on, hasn't managed to keep possession of that ball. It was good work yet again from Hivindu. He had space and options on either side, or either sides. He decided to go on the outside, but very unluckily, Dulanta Kendagol doesn't manage to keep possession of that ball. And the University of Ruhuna will have a scrum inside their 22 meters. Will be interesting to see what they do. The best option is to kick, and they are playing against the wind in the second half as well. And it will be really interesting to see what they do. And there again, good scrum coming in. Here's Prabha Shrimukti, lovely cutout pass to now Dilshan. He takes the ball in close quarters. Here's Niranga. Niranga gives a lovely cutout pass to Dulanja, but he takes the ball into contact, goes into contact. Ball available for University of Peradeniya yet again. And the ball has been turned over by University of Ruhuna. Will they kick? Penalty advantage for not rolling away. I think the culprit there was Uganda, the hooker of University of Peradeniya, for not rolling away. And University of Ruhuna will kick this out, and hopefully they can get as much distance as they can, and it doesn't go out on. And the penalty collected by Niranga Ranavira gives it to Chamindu. Chamindu gives it to Nimesh Vijay Singh, who decides to cut back in. And here's Nimesh stepping past a couple of players, still on his feet. Is Nimesh Vijay Singh, takes the ball just inside the 22 meters. Here's Chamindu, gives it to Heshan Sandalika. Here's Niranga, gives it to Dulanja, cutting back in. Dulanja fends off one player. Ball available. Niranga needs to act as the scrum off. Ball available. Finally, Nimesh Vijay Singh arrives on target, gives it to Heshan Sandalika, but the ball has been knocked on while trying to pass, and University of Ruhuna have managed to keep the University of Peradeniya at bay, but they have the ball with themselves.
Yeah, and it definitely feels like they're just delaying the inevitable here, Kavint. Still a bit of a better start than what they already had. That counter-attack coming in as well. It's a good bit of an impact created by them in these previous few minutes after that second try in this second half. However, they're just not able to hold on to that ball and allowing Peradeniya to play their own free-flowing game. They have to make sure that they hit back with some rush defense here, not allow the back line to do the damage that they've been doing so far, and get those forwards in, make those forwards work, because they know that they have an equally good set of forwards for themselves, and if they can do that, they will perhaps have a chance of countering here in this second half.
A couple of changes being made to the University of Peradeniya as well. In comes Nadun Chamika at flank, and Janit Induvara at second row. Free kick for an early engage. The front row of University of Peradeniya has engaged early by the looks of it, and it will be a quick free kick. Needs quick tap taken, and good tackle coming in from the captain, Prabhash Vimukti. He has done everything in defense. And there again, the ball has it been turned over. A player down for University of Ruhuna. That's why the referee has stopped the clock. And it will be a breather for both these teams. This is the first quarter final of the Inter-University Rugby Tournament 2026. The previous champions, the defending champions rather, are University of Colombo. They won it back-to-back in 2024 and 2025. And previous to that in 2022, it was University of Sri Jayawardhanapura. And previous to that, it was University of Peradeniya who lifted the trophy. And the last time the trophy went to Peradeniya was in 2017 under Udar Kasturiarachi, who captained in 2027, and that was played at Nittavala as well. And this time, in this first quarter final, they have a good lead of 34 points to nil. And by the looks of it, the gap will only widen as the game progresses. We have around 20 minutes remaining. We are playing 30 minutes per half in the quarterfinals, and come the semi-finals, the match time expands to 35 minutes per half. And next week we will have the semi-finals, and by the looks of it, number 2 has been taken out. Sachinth Pallegedara, a former Maliyadeva player. He was acting as the hooker, and it will be a penalty in favor of scrum in favor of Ruhuna, and referee Bhishma Jayasekara awards the University of Ruhuna with the scrum. In the first half, the first 20-25 minutes, it was all stop-start affair, plenty of set pieces. But as the game has progressed, the fitness levels have come into play, hasn't it, Bila?
Definitely has, and Peradeniya showing that they have the edge here. Of course, they'll be bolstered by the fact that they are 34 points up here. University of Ruhuna just attempting to slow it down, and this time Peradeniya doing extremely well, turning their strengths into weaknesses, and the captain going forward, going for that quick tap and drawing that advantage as well. And here's Peradeniya on the attack once again.
Seneth takes the ball into contact, still on his feet. Needs a couple of men to bring him down, still on his feet. Ball available now, needs to release. Chamindu acts as the clearance, and here's Prabhash Vimukti. Knocking the ball was Heshan Sandalika, the flank, but there was a penalty advantage in favor of the University of Peradeniya. Hence they will have a penalty just outside the 22 meters as another Ruhuna player goes down.
Tragic state of affairs for the University of Ruhuna, unfortunately for them. They've come here with the intention of proceeding to the semi-finals, but the University of Peradeniya just proving to be a little too nippy on their feet. Ruhuna unable to keep pace with them, have not been able to find any answers so far, and we'll be having another concussion check if we are not mistaken. And the second half dragging on quite a bit here.
Looks like Coach Malit Hettiarachchi and Coach Anush Kolone is emptying their bench. They already included 3 players from the bench, and looks like the 4th player is warming up, and it will be a penalty in favor of the University of Peradeniya. This is the first quarter final. Next up we have the University of Kalaniya taking on the University of Moratuwa in the second quarter final, and tomorrow we have the University of Colombo taking on the University of Uvavellassa, and the University of Sri Jayawardhanapura yellow card given to a player of the University of Ruhuna as well, as Niranga Ranavira puts the ball into touch. It will be Anjula Senarath who will be throwing in to this 6-man line out.
Had a long few passes in play here, and the University of Ruhuna will be hoping this pause in momentum will just allow them to come back into this game renewed, refreshed. Here's the throw in. Peradeniya once again now through the hands of that captain, making some meters, valuable meters.
Anjula Senarath takes the ball into contact after good work from the captain Prabhashi Mukti, and yes, Dulanja cutting back in. Should have gone on the outside, but the ball available for the University of Peradeniya, and Nadun Chamika is over. From the back of that rock, Nadun Chamika picked it up and strolled over for the 6th try of the game. The 3rd-year engineer faculty player Nadun Chamika is acting as the flanker. He was subbed off the bench, and the fresh legs doing the hard work, and Chamika is over for the 6th try of the University of Peradeniya. It's 39 points to nil. We have around 15 minutes remaining as Dulanja Wanigatunga yet again has the distance but not the direction. University of Peradeniya need to be mindful of making those conversions, because come the semi-finals, those conversions will be really, really important. Here's how Nadun Chamika picked it up from the back of that ruck and strolls over pretty unguarded rather from University of Ruhuna. It's 39 points to nil, and we have around 18 minutes remaining as well.
This will be a huge boost of confidence for the University of Peradeniya going into those semi-finals. Almost 40 points on the board with a few more minutes to play as well. If they keep playing this way, they'll definitely be able to score around 50 points on the board, or much more maybe. And it looks like once again Ruhuna have made the exact same mistake they did in that previous kickoff, just presenting opportunity after opportunity for the University of Peradeniya. Center scrum once again. University of Peradeniya, ball in hand, will be looking to capitalize on this opportunity. Every time they've visited that red zone in this second half, they've come away with a try. They'll be looking to carry this momentum once again.
Now Dilshan gives a pass out, but Chamindu has done enough work. Dulanja Vanikatunga takes the ball into contact. Penalty for the University of Ruhuna for not rolling away, holding on rather. Good call from referee Bhishma Jayasekara, who stops play yet again.
Once again, it's a player from the University of Ruhuna who has gone down. So, few concerning injuries in the second half. Or is it a player from the University of Peradeniya that is actually on the floor there?
Couldn't get his number. Wonder if it's now Dilshan who's down.
Well, the Peradeniya team being on song, they wouldn't want too many injuries to their starting 15, considering they have 2 more games to go in this tournament. Coach will have the luxury of subbing in some new players as well, giving them some minutes under the belt.
Now Dilshan goes out and in comes Kasun Disanayaka. It's a penalty in favor of the University of Ruhuna. And inside, just outside the 22 meters, just on the mark of the 22 meter. And it will be a line out in favor of the University of Ruhuna. Wonder what they will do. It's an 8-man line out. The wind has died down in the second half. Here's the throw coming in right in front and forms the maul. Breaks from the back and ball available yet again for the Ruhuna player. Into touch and scrum in favor of University of Peradeniya. That defense have been pretty good in the game so far. University of Peradeniya, the tackles have been dominant, and they need to keep on pressing, and if they can score a couple of more tries, they'll be really happy. But the University of Ruhuna will definitely want to cut back the deficit. I don't think they will come back and secure a victory, but at least if they can score a couple of tries, it'll be really important. And the quick chase gives it to the number 10, who has his dancing feet on point. And there again, good tackle coming in from Mahasen Jayasundara. Ball available, advantage for not rolling away. Now rolls away, advantage being played, and there was no advantage, and the referee awards a penalty for not rolling away. Can't afford to give away these silly penalties. This is around the 3rd penalty that University of Peradeniya have given back to back on the trot, and come the semi-finals they can't be affording to do that. And it's a 5-man line out, 4-man line out rather.
Few too many mistakes creeping in this latter stage of the game for the University of Peradeniya. Well, once again it's Peradeniya who come away with the ball.
Yes, Niranga gives it to Nimesh Vijayasinghe. Here's Kasun Disanayaka into touch.
Tempers flaring just a little bit here. The referee making sure play will resume as soon as possible. Not the best thing you'd want to see. Understandably, for the University of Ruhuna, just considering the scoreline, perhaps the frustrations spilling over from them. But the referee is making sure there isn't too much of a pause and play will resume. Kudos to them for handling the situation as well.
Line out in favor of University of Ruhuna. Takes the ball into contact, but the ball has been knocked on, and it's University of Peradeniya who reaps rewards with a scrum. And just outside the 22 meters, after scoring those two initial tries in the second half, University of Peradeniya hasn't really scored. We have around 12 minutes remaining. It will be Chamida Gunaratna who will be feeding in to this Pera scrum. Feeds in. Chamindu gives it to Hivindu. Niranga. Samika knocks it backwards. Play on is the call from the referee. Ball available. Good work at ruck time from University of Ruhuna. Here's Niranga from inside the 22 meters. Puts the ball to boot. Bounces and goes into touch. And ball available now to the University of Ruhuna with another line out. The wind has really died down in the second half. In the first half it was terrible. Coming in from the left, right of your screen to the right. And there again. I think that was not straight, but okay is the call from the referee. Here's the number 6 running lateral. 2 tackles coming in from the University of Peradeniya. There again puts another chip kick. Collected by no one. Collected by Ruhuna. Gives the ball out yet again. And knocks the ball on. Referee wasn't playing advantage. An offside call from referee Bhishma Jayasekara. Quickly taken. No. Will they put this out into touch? This is about the 4th penalty that has gone against the University of Peradeniya in the second half. University of Ruhuna now have the option of attacking. Good tackle coming in just outside the 22 meters. University of Ruhuna gives it away. Here's the number 26. Ball available. Throws the ball out yet again. And it's a good tackle coming in from Ishan by the looks of it. Rather it was Seneth from University of Peradeniya. Here's Saniro looking to go through that gap that was opening up, and the ball has been turned over. Holding on. Wasn't sure who the player was, but it was brilliant work. Wasn't the tackler, he was the jackler. Had all rights to the ball, and it will be Niranga Ranavira who takes it quickly. Gives it to Nimeshu Jesingh. Puts the ball to boot. Does it go out on the full? No, it doesn't. Bounces and goes out.
Well, the University of Ruhuna will be looking to end this match with a few points on the board. It will be consolation at this point because it's quite a steep hill to climb for them. And looking at the way they've played throughout this game, They don't look like they have the afterburners on them to score that many points in such a short time period. But nevertheless, they'll be looking to score some points.
4-man line out and collected by University of Ruhuna. Knocks the ball on yet again. That has been the story. Whenever they have had good field possession, they have not managed to keep possession of that ball. And that is something they need to be mindful of. And from a Peradeniya perspective, Coach Malit Hettiaratsi and Anush Kolonne won't be really happy with the second half performance, because they have given away 5 penalties in the second half, and early engage quickly taken. Here's Chamindu Gunaratne trying to run through that vacant blind side, and the ball has been knocked on.
The University of Ruhuna, whenever they've had the ball in hand, they just seemed a bit lost and a bit reactionary to the proceedings that are going on, even with the ball in hand. It doesn't feel like they're playing to a set plan or a set play.
Mistakes creeping up. Maybe the fitness levels have been affected, but overall it has been a good game. University of Peradeniya have done most things right, and that is why they lead 39 points to nil.
Here's Ruhuna, this time doing well, wraparound pass, but not doing much with that, going straight into contact. Good rush defense from Peradeniya, and this is what we didn't really see Ruhuna doing either. They were waiting for the player to come for them, bracing for impact and not going for those rushed defense, not running those lines either. This time Ruhuna making some meters.
Puts the ball to boot, collected by the number 11. Here's the number 11 in space. Good tackle by the little scrum half from Peradeniya. And here's space opening up yet again, and that's another good tackle coming in from Nimesh Vijay Singh, and the ball has been turned over. No, off it is the call from the referee Bhishma Jayasekar, and good call. He was clearly off it, was the Peradeniya player, and they will put this into touch. Quickly taken. Ruhuna puts the ball to boot. Collected, knocked on yet again. They've identified that there's space behind, and that's the game done and dusted. 39 points to nil. University of Peradeniya doing really, really well. They've scored 7 tries rather, and just 2 conversions gives them the 39 points, and brilliant outing. That's the end of the first quarter final of the Inter-University Rugby Tournament 2026, and the first quarter-final winners are the University of Peradeniya, and they've scored 39 points, and University of Ruhuna has not really managed to get off the board. And next up we have University of Kelaniya taking on the University of Moratuwa, and that is going to be another blockbuster as well.
Definitely will be. Both those teams are primed for these quarterfinals, and here are the highlights from the second half. 2 very, very quick tries from Peradeniya early on, and then from then on, it was a bit of a stop-start affair. That was the few yellow cards as well for the University of Ruhuna. Three tries rather scored in the second half. There could have been more, but a few mistakes creeping in for the University of Peradeniya. A few unnecessary delays also in the middle of that second half. And at full time here, Peradeniya will find themselves the victors, moving into the semi-finals with 34 points to their name and not conceding a single one. And the next one, you can already see the University of Colombo already with their warm-ups. But we'll be having a few minutes before the start of that game. And we'll be going into a short commercial break, but do stay tuned. And with that, before going into the commercial break, we'll be signing off for this match. But do stay tuned. We'll be coming back with another afterwards, where the University of Colombo will be taking on the University of Moratoa.
Stand by for opener.
Sri Lanka's #1 sports channel, the Papare.
3, 2, 1, roll.
This is Sri Lankaවේ අංක ක්‍රිකට් නාලිකාව the Papare සමග.
Welcome back to the Papare.
Welcome to the live broadcast from the Papare.
Good luck, guys. Good luck, everyone.
The Papare, Sri Lanka's #1 television sports channel.